Michigan's short track racing authority is Horsepower Happenings.
Charlie Bauer, welcome into Horsepower Happenings.
Scotty Thiel, welcome to Horsepower Happenings.
John Beach, welcome into Horsepower Happenings.
Adam Terry, welcome into Horsepower Happenings.
Paul Pelletier.
Corbin Hazlett, Riley Knoll.
Matt Kemp, Dylan Stovall, welcome into Horsepower Happenings.
From pavement to dirt, modifieds to sprint cars, hear from drivers, promoters, track owners, and many other industry leaders.
We worked on that car for 12 days straight, and when I got to the speedway Saturday, I was out of gas. I had to take a nap.
You're out there and, you know, that groove, if you're outside of it, you could be a couple tenths off or even half a second off.
It is not the shock that you've won all these races. You know what I mean? There's so many pieces to the puzzle to make these cars go fast.
I don't care what he says. I saw a thing on Facebook on somebody's post that's now been deleted that one of his crew guys said that the spotter told him car low and I wrecked him.
With over 50 years of experience from racing to management, here are Zach Heiser and Rich France.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome into Horsepower Happenings, a really exciting show coming up for you. A couple of drivers that we haven't had on the program in quite some time. Plus, Gary, did you know? That's always a thriller for guys that aren't me, because I don't know the answers to any of these questions. So we'll give you the answers, and we'll give you a new quiz for the month of August. Those things and so much more coming up. But first, here's what's happening in a Mark News Minute in the world of NASCAR. They invaded Richmond Raceway over the weekend. Trucks got things kicked off. Caden Honeycutt went to victory lane. Corey Hahn second. Christian Eckes rounded out the podium. Then Saturday night, Joey Logano, Chase Briscoe, Austin Cindric for the Cup Series. Connor Zilic, speaking of NASCAR news, signed a multi-year deal with Hendrick Motorsports. He will drive the number 48 car in the Cup Series beginning in 2028. So we've got now like 2 years of silly season to figure out what's going to go on there. Exciting stuff. Knoxville Nationals, Kyle Larson dominated from the pole to win his fourth Knoxville Nationals. We'll talk about that more coming up. And how about Dan Ebert? His first career win with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series came Saturday night at Batesville Motor Speedway in the Topless 100. Pretty good time to get your first LOLMDS win. Those things and so much more happening tonight on Horsepower Happenings. Good evening. Welcome in. I'm Zach Heiser. Rich France joins me from across the way. What is going on, my friend?
What's going on? I got to watch prelim night for the Topless 100, and I wasn't able to watch the 100 on Saturday.
Yeah.
But did you catch any of it or see any of the highlights?
No.
Man, they were blowing tires left and right at Batesville. And
that was the only thing I saw. I saw one person's tire at the end that was just completely, smooth. But 100 laps in a late model, I mean, you're going to have that at some point, don't you think?
Yeah, but on Friday they had 25 lap twin preliminaries,
and they were a problem.
And there were 6 or 8 guys blowing tires.
Yeah,
they probably had the soft tires on, and they figured we can go 25 laps. Not.
That's tough. That's tough. Don't want that to happen. Tires are tricky, man. Okay, can we talk about Kyle Larson for a minute? I just, first of all, I don't know if you saw my post on my personal Facebook page, but race fans are so wishy-washy and two-faced, or maybe they're not. Maybe they're grounded in their convictions, but you see them come to light at different times, because it started off that, World Racing Group in Knoxville wouldn't postpone the Knoxville Nationals to Sunday because they didn't want Kyle Larson racing there. And then as it got deeper into Saturday night, it became, World Racing Group and Knoxville Raceway don't want to run this race unless Kyle Larson can be here. That's a sidebar thing. I just think race fans are funny in that way. But what a double for Kyle Larson. I think this is something that we have never seen before, obviously, Rich. And quite frankly, I don't know that the stars or rain clouds will align for us to ever see this type of accomplishment again. What did you make of Saturday into Sunday morning's performances?
That doesn't happen if it doesn't rain in Knoxville. You
Sure.
know that, right?
Right.
I mean,
Absolutely
there's not even an option. He doesn't get to run. Number 2, Kyle Larson doesn't have that connection with Mother Nature to make it happen. All right.
Yeah, they're not. Even people were saying that,
as good as he is,
that they were tampering with the clouds to make it rain. I mean, people are just off their rocker on some of this stuff. But I did. I thought it was cool the way the whole thing played out, right? We saw that where Kyle talked about, he wrote it off. He knew he wasn't going to be able to race in Knoxville on Saturday night. He just hoped to be done with the Cup Series race in time to watch it. And then when it started to become a reality that they might be able to do it, we've all seen the clip where Cliff Daniels comes on his radio and says, hey, Knoxville hasn't even started hot laps yet. We're working on getting you a plan. And we later learned that Kyle said he refused to bring up Knoxville on Saturday to any of his NASCAR, team or teammates or anything, because he didn't want them to think he was distracted, and he didn't want to distract himself with it. So he was really surprised when Cliff Daniels came over the radio with a Knoxville update. And what I thought was interesting, and he said it's going to look this way, but that's not really what happened. And I think maybe there's a little truth to that. Kyle Larson went from running like 14th or 15th, one lap down, to finishing 6th. You think somebody got a little pep in their step?
Yeah.
At what point
did he get the message?
Yeah, I think about the time they started clicking things off there. So that was pretty cool. And then, the other thing that you're not talking about is, he ran, what is that? Was that a 400-mile race at Richmond on Saturday night? So he runs that, hops on a helicopter, then hops on an airplane, does his race debrief with his team, and then unloads, gets a new fire suit on, gets in a completely different race car, and goes 50 laps wire to wire to win the Knoxville Nationals for the 4th time.
Yeah, I've never seen a sprint car race really want to wait that long to put out through the weather.
Right.
So there was a little bit going on there, probably.
Yeah.
Because unless there was a big reason why these teams couldn't wait till Sunday. I don't, stay an extra day.
I think there's a lot to be said about running your race on the advertised day. Obviously you've got a lot of fans, rain out policies.
At 2:00 in the morning. Jeez.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's not unheard of, right? It's not unheard of. So, so what, are you on the bandwagon that they did everything they could to get Kyle Larson there to run the race?
I'm on the bandwagon. Kyle Larson had nothing to do with it.
Okay. All right. Very good. Is Kyle Larson the most talented race car driver? I'm not going to say ever, but how about of our tenure, of the current moment? Is Kyle Larson the most talented race car driver that we've got eyes on?
Name me one that's close.
I don't know, right? I mean, a lot of people said that Christopher Bell would be that way. He hasn't really proved that in the Cup Series on my side. And, obviously his Cup Series obligations haven't allowed him to run any other extracurricular things, really. Tony Stewart was kind of held in that light for quite some time, and now he's doing completely different things. So I don't think that you can put him in this conversation right now. I don't know. Is there anybody else that's close?
The only one I would have several years ago, 5-10 years ago, would be Kyle Busch. And
Yeah.
I am not a big Kyle, never was a big Kyle Busch fan, but you gotta, I mean, he was running everything. He was jumping in anything he could to race and was winning a lot.
Right. Right.
Now he's not, I don't think he's doing it as, I mean, and he was going pavement, dirt, a little bit of everything. He didn't care. He didn't care if it was a snowball derby. He didn't care if it was the Clash. It didn't, wherever. And he would, and he'd run well.
All right. So we're trying some new things here on our Facebook Live. If you're watching with us, you should see somewhere, I think this is a new option this week. So I'm playing with it as we go here. There might be a question that pops up that asks, is Kyle Larson the best race car driver overall? Let us know what you think and respond to that question. Okay, what else is going on, Rich? We talked about Kyle Larson. Let's move on. Berlin Raceway had a huge week, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday of racing. And should we talk about Wednesday before we get to Saturday? We haven't covered Wednesday and the Battle at Berlin yet. What did you make of that performance?
Tristan McKee is a pretty damn good race car driver. That's what I
Pretty
gathered
cool.
from that.
Pretty cool. Yeah. Good for him too. And all the hype around that race because of Cletus being there, I think there's just some natural added pressure to Wednesday's race, don't you? And then of course Carson's there, Bubba's there, Brian Campbell, the local favorites, Dylan, we're going to talk to him coming up in a little while. There's just a lot of good names there at that race. And Tristan McKee's been fast, right? We've been keeping an eye on him. Great job by him getting to victory lane.
And you got to think the cautions kind of helped out because I think with like 50 to go, I don't know if I wouldn't have taken Bubba and give you the field at that point, right? He
Really?
was out front.
Yeah.
He was out front and pretty comfortable the way that 26 machine looked. And then cautions got choked up and that car was never, I don't know what happened, but that car was not the same after that.
I just don't know. I mean, with Bubba Pollard's track record, I would have taken the field easy. I'm just going to say that. But
well, he's usually not that far along leading late in races,
That's true.
I mean, outside of Five Flag Speedway,
Right.
I mean, that's
right.
He's not been as dominating in recent years.
So that rolls into Friday. We'll talk more about Friday with Dylan Stovall coming up later on. That was more of a motorsports event, not so much there was some circle track racing, but we'll talk more about that with Dylan Stovall coming up in a little while. But how about on Saturday, the Big Ass Lake 75? That's almost as much fun of a race name to say as the Colin Fudge Packer 100.
Yeah.
That was no, not Colin. What's the name of the town outside of Anderson? Colin's the town up here. Uranus Fudge Factory, whatever, 100. Remember that race at Anderson
Yes,
Speedway?
I remember that.
Okay. Big Ass Lake 75, a close second. What a show, Rich. $20,000, big invert, and big names stuck around. I wasn't sure who would stick around to run this race. Bubba's there. You've got Dylan Stovall. You've got, all the names that you expect to be there racing. Obviously, no Carson Hocevar because of the conflict with NASCAR. This was a good show, and it came right down to the wire.
And you got to figure how good Dylan ran on Wednesday, right? I think Dylan ended up 7th, and Chris Shannon even had a good run running 6th on Wednesday. Did that give Dylan Stovall a little confidence going into this thing?
Yeah, well, and Dylan has run second so many times this year, or in the top 5 at least. Remember, he's second in points at Berlin, so he's no slouch down there, or up there it would be. We'll talk. We're going to talk a lot more about this race coming up around 7:30 tonight. So please stick around and catch this interview with Dylan Stovall. I'm really excited about this one. So that was Saturday at Berlin, Rich. We, believe it or not, we crowned some champions over the weekend. Can you believe that?
It's getting there. It's August, right? I mean, I know. Man, was this a fast race season?
Third week of August already. So here we go. Michigan Modifieds crowned their inaugural champion. Remember, the Michigan Modified Series, a collaboration between Berlin Raceway and Owasso Speedway. Trevor Berry ends up becoming the inaugural Michigan Modified Series champion, Rich. So congratulations to him. And this is intriguing, too. Some questions came out of his announcement that he won the championship. Trevor, will you be at Winchester Speedway? That's a question mark right now. Can you imagine a run for the gun without Trevor Berry there?
I can after he won last year. Yeah. I absolutely can.
Now that he's marked it off. Yeah.
Yeah. He was going to keep coming there until he got him a rifle. Let me just tell you that. And maybe that's the reason he was pretty emotional about it in Victory Lane last year at Winchester. I was standing down there and watched him. And that was probably a moment of his career that he will not soon forget.
No, I agree with that 100%. So congratulations to Trevor. Nice job by him. The other champion that was crowned over the weekend was for the Tri-State Sprint Series. Rich, 4 top 5 finishes this season, a worst finish of 3rd at Anderson, a lights out year for the African native Quentin. I believe is it Saman? I don't know. I should have
go with you on this one, which is rare for me.
I should have called John Boy or David Howe and got some clarification on that. But Quentin, good job by him. No wins this year, but that's not what it takes. This was a Matt Kenseth style championship. 4 top 5 finishes and worst 3rd of Anderson. So good job by them. The season is complete for the Tri-State Sprints, and we'll dive more into championship interviews and information as we get into the offseason a little bit further. Let's take a look at the Kalamazoo Clash. It's coming up on Wednesday, Rich. Have you had a chance to scroll through the expected entries? I think, without much argument, there's 2, maybe 3 names that are leading the entry list right now. That's, of course, going to be Tyler Rohrig, but how about the old dogs coming back to try to take another one from Kalamazoo? Terry Seneker and Andy Bozell announced over the last couple of days. Seneker announced today that they are going to race in the Clash on Wednesday night.
Well, I don't think Terry Seneker's deal was much of a surprise, seeing Blake Childers kind of
teased it pretty hard, didn't he?
Didn't he? I mean, so
Yeah.
I got to believe Terry's going to be in one of Blake's cars. Man, and Blake's cars are pretty darn good, and those are Terry's race cars. I don't know, but Field or Tyler Rohrig, huh? Man.
I'm going to give it to you. You're the guy who likes to gamble. Do you take the Field or do you take Tyler Rohrig in the Clash on Wednesday?
Man, if Andy or Terry had raced more, I think I'd want to give them a chance.
And there's plenty more in the field, right? Terry was the 20-something entry today, but continue.
I'm gonna do it till he bucks me. I'll take Tyler. Why not?
Okay. All right.
Fair.
It is going to be hard for Andy Bozell.
He's got a pretty good record in Michigan.
Yeah, and obviously Andy's 12-time for a reason, but I think it's going to be hard for him to just jump right back in and pick right where they left off. You know what I mean?
Well, he knows Kalamazoo Speedway like he
I
knows
know,
the
I know
back
he
of his
does.
hand,
I know he does, and Mason's been keeping the seat warm.
Yeah.
But they're different race car drivers. I don't know. I think it's great that he's coming back. He's not on my list of favorites, I guess, to win. Is that bad? Is that bad? Am I out on a limb there on that?
Is he coming back for nostalgia's sake, you think, for him? Maybe one last shot at it?
Is he just coming back to run it one more time like guys do for the Daytona 500, right?
I don't know. I've seen Andy, but I haven't talked to him about racing because he's, so much
helping those grandkids.
Yeah, taking care of Bryce and Mason, working on their cars, So
I don't know. Maybe
I don't know. We'll see. I hope he has. I'd love to see him have a great run.
I would love to eat crow on Monday. Okay, I would love to be on this show next week, getting ready to interview Andy Bozell because he just won another Kalamazoo Clash. Okay,
yeah, right.
But I just don't. If we were betting, if this was Vegas, I don't think he's got the best odds. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know who does.
I think if it's Vegas, if you're in Vegas and it's your own money, I think you can't go against Tyler Roark, can you?
Yeah, you got to take Tyler. And
you're not going to win much, but
yeah, and they've got the rolling list of entries on the Kalamazoo Speedway Facebook page if you want to scan through them. I think if Tyler Roark doesn't get wrecked or have a mechanical problem, I think they've already drawn the T on the check. How's that?
Yeah, I mean, there's other guys. I mean, Mark Shook, you can never take him if he's going to get an outlaw. I mean, there's several guys that you just can't just wipe off and say no just because Tyler showed up. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, Mark Shook and Tyler Roark have had great battles in years past. But so yeah, okay, we'll see. Maybe I'll look like an idiot. Well, that's typical. But we'll see if I'm proven to be an idiot by this time next week. Hey, I want to take a quick moment and preview a very exciting, not really new, but new to us project coming to the Mark News podcast lineup. We're excited to continue to promote that next Tuesday night, Rich, fans of NASCAR racing will have a podcast dedicated to them on the Mark News Network as the Super Speedway podcast with Eric Young makes its way over to our platform. They've been doing audio-only versions of their show on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, pretty much anywhere that you find Horsepower Happenings, you can find the Super Speedway. That will now be produced live on Tuesday night, so you can join the conversation about all things happening NASCAR, from the Cup Series to the Truck Series, maybe even some wheel and modified stuff. And when the guys like, your Eric Jones and your Carson Hocevar jump down into the late model realms, they'll talk about that too, and you can join the conversation. Tuesday nights, oh boy, 7 or 7:30. We'll have to get a promo out so that I know when I need to be ready to produce this thing. But that'll be Tuesday nights on the Mark News Network over on the Mark News Facebook page. We'll have that. And Eric Young, he's all about short track racing, but he's really into the NASCAR scene too.
Yeah, it's always fun. But he's usually taking pictures right all the time. So that's pretty cool. I mean, I'm lucky I get to see him with the Turn 1 CRA Pro Series. I get to run into him all the time. So. But that's cool. Jumping on our platform. That's awesome.
All right. You should get another trigger here on the Facebook page to let us know who had the yawn of the week performance. If you didn't, just hit the refresh tab or close the video and reopen it, and you should get the question, who had the yawn of the week performance? Rich, you've pulled out a couple of winners from the past weekend. What does it mean to be a yawn of the week performance? Well, it's like, okay, Travis Stemler won again at I-96 Speedway. He would be my nominee for a yawn of the week performance. So, Rich, take us through who you've got this weekend as winners across the state of Michigan.
Well, we're going to start at Winston because that was pretty cool in the UMP late models, and the inaugural move over Michigan Dirt Late Model Dirt Series. Dona Marcoullier picked up the win. In the Pro Late, Steve Fairbanks picked up the win at Winston. In Street Stocks, it was Andy Sprague. Cyber Stocks, Ryan Ham. And in the Mini Wedges, 6-9, Kyler Erickson. 10-14, Chloe Short.
Ryan Ham may be a yawn of the week nominee. I'm not following the compact scene very closely, but I remember back when I worked at I-96 and we traveled to these dirt tracks a lot more in the state of Michigan. Ryan Ham was winning a bunch. I just assume that continues. So,
well, I do got 3. My next one is I-96 Speedway I pulled, and we might have 3 yawns in this one.
oh, okay.
Late models, Travis Stemler won with everybody else running elsewhere.
That's right. Yeah.
Right.
Well, don't handicap him now.
No.
This is 6 wins now on the season for him in Michigan. So,
well, it's awful convenient. He's got to go a mile down the road. I mean,
it's
that's
a pretty. Hey, winning feels good whether you're 100 miles from home or a mile from home. Okay.
Yeah. IMC Maj AJ Ward. He was not one of my yawns.
Not one of the yawns, and controversial victory. Rich, have you been following along with that at all?
No, I was trying to find out what happened. Is what I.
Well, I'll give you the Reader's Digest version. The Mark Anderson machine missed the scale. So that's an instant disqualification. That's pretty common in dirt track racing. So that's just a bummer deal for Mark Anderson. But droop rule has made its way into the modifieds. This has been a great big thing for late model racing here over these last few years, and it's now made its way into IMCA modified competition. And unfortunately for Jacob Poole, he did not pass the droop test at I-96. And he published a response the following morning with some photos, and it's quite the read. If you get a chance to go through and find
I will now. You know I will.
Yeah, it's pretty intriguing. But hey, a win's a win nonetheless. So congratulations to AJ Ward.
Okay, in the street stock, I'm thinking this could probably be a young candidate, Gary Vandermark.
Yeah, he's been pretty good this year. Yeah,
pretty good, huh? In the compacts, Blade Hatima. And in the mini wedges, 6 to 9, my third yawn, Lola Stemler.
Lola,
she's been on a roll at I-96 this year.
God love you, Lola, but you and your dad are putting them to sleep this year. Great performance.
Then in ages 10 to 14, Roy Tharp Jr. picked up the win. At Flat Rock Speedway, Zach, Connor Zabosian, man.
Is he in yawn category? I mean, track
no,
record
not with the season
win
he's
last
had.
week?
No, he just won 2 in a row and set 2 track records in a row, but he's had a junk of a season. 3 motors, a big wreck. So after
this is a nice little turnaround performance.
Yes, that's what it is. I mean, for the worst luck that he's ever had this year to what he's done the last 2 times, and it almost happened again in hot laps. In hot laps, he pulled down into the infield, and then because he had ran a handful of laps, he pulled away. And our safety crew found a serpentine belt laying right where he stopped.
Oh no.
And they're thinking, and their first call was, we just found an oil pump belt.
Yeah, absolutely.
If that oil pump belt falls off, they're not running that race.
Yeah, that's you're done.
They ran back to Connor's pit, and they found out that it was a power steering belt. Thank God.
No kidding.
And he proceeded to go, and so he qualified, broke the track record, 10.73 now in an outlaw to get around Flat Rock Speedway.
Broke his own record
by 0.03 of a second.
Wow.
And then proceeded to stink up the outlaw super late model 50 lap feature. So good for him.
Yeah. All right. Who else? Let's go.
MCR Dwarf Cars, Caleb Adrian picked up the win. In the street stocks, Jeff Metapedigan picked up the win. And in the figure eights, newly inducted last year into the Michigan Motorsports Hall of Fame, Dennis Wisman Jr. Sr. picked up the win.
Is Jeff Metapedigan, has he been stinking it up there at Flat Rock this year?
No, he hasn't won in a while. That was
okay. Good.
It was a pretty good deal there Connor had won a couple weeks ago, but for guys that hadn't won this year, it was one of those nights at Flat Rock where surprise, you know.
It's a good weekend. Cool. Merritt Speedway to wrap things up, Rich. How about Chase Rosebrew? He gets into victory lane with the IMCA Modifieds. That was a fast shaft qualifier event, so good for him. Pro Stocks, Nate Murphy's making this. I know he's making this not much of a show for the points now. We talked about how Katie Robinson could have a chance here, and Nate
second. She finished second.
I know, yeah, that's true. But Nate said, "I'll be damned," and he's been going to victory lane a lot lately. So yes, Nate Murphy, a yawn of the week nominee. Nick Putman, maybe factory stocks. Seems like we've said his name a few times this season. Bradley Smith in the 4 to 6 cylinder division, Kason Harrington in the mini wedge restricted division, and Gwendolyn Nelson in the unrestricted division over at Merritt Speedway. Want to point out, Rich, this is not a yawn of the week nominee. Forgot to put it in the script. Great Lakes Super Sprints raced on Friday at Hartford Speedway. Chase Dunham. First time I met Chase Dunham was back in 2019 after he broke the track record at Hartford Speedway. He went on to crash over the turns 3 and 4 barrier and have a terrible night at Hartford Speedway that night. Friday night at Hartford Speedway, Chase Dunham blisters a brand new track record, a 14.1, goes faster in his heat race at a 13.9, and commences to wrecking and junking a race car in the feature. So I'm going to advise that Chase Dunham stay away from track records at Hartford Speedway because it doesn't seem to fare well for him.
So when I was trying, I was trying to go through the finishing order because I was a little busy and I was like, I'm curious. Like our buddy Sam and Max was like 12th, right?
I don't remember where he fell back to.
11th
for starting, Max started deep. I think he ended up with a top 5 or a top 10.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Or was that Saturday night where he had a bad run?
We didn't race Saturday.
Oh,
so,
okay.
No, he started really deep on Friday though.
Yeah, I thought he finished 12th, and I kept and I was like, well, Chase Dunham's not in front of him, so he didn't get burned that bad.
Yeah, no, it was 82 points now, I think, is the difference, or 84 or something like that for the tour. So it's very manageable. But
it's going to go down to the wire.
Only 2 weeks left, 4 races before we crown a champion for the Great Lakes Super Sprints. Okay, we're behind schedule. Imagine that. We have to take a quick break. When we come back, our first interview of the night, he's the inaugural winner with the Move Over Michigan Dirt Late Model Series. Dona Marcoullier is coming up on the other side. This is the Horsepower Happenings podcast.
Think your camper handled the winter just fine? Think again. Every time the temperature fluctuates, drop moisture freezes and expands, turning tiny hairline cracks into major pathways for water. That freeze-thaw cycle is a silent killer for RV seals. If you haven't had a professional roof and exterior sealant inspection this spring, you're likely towing a leak you can't see yet. Midwest Camper Repair specializes in catching that winter damage before it reaches your interior. We're mobile and we check it all from the roof to the floor. Don't let a winter crack ruin your summer fun. Call Midwest Camper Repair today and start the season sealed tight. Call 419-799-1171. That's 419-799-1171. Or visit MidwestCamperRepair.com. Serving the tri-state area from the roof to the floor, Midwest Camper Repair has you covered.
KG Media is your home for all things photography, race day social media, and more. Cody Dyer brings more than a decade of experience working with the top brands in short track racing. From individual photos to full race days, social media to PR, KG Media can make your race team, race track, or touring series stand out. For more information, go to marknews.org or visit KG Media on Facebook.
One of the biggest question marks for your event is, what are we going to do for food? Heavenly Smoked Barbecue is your answer. Serving Michigan and Northern Indiana, Heavenly Smoked Barbecue brings the best from the grill to your plate with pulled pork, pork belly, chicken, mac and cheese, baked beans, and more. Graduation open house, birthday parties, weddings, festivals. If it needs food, Heavenly Smoked Barbecue will offer options that will have them saying, that smells heavenly. Call 269-908-3948 or find Heavenly Smoked Barbecue on Facebook.
Mark News is back. Michigan Area Racing Connection News keeps fans in the tri-state area up to date on national headlines, local results, regional news, and so much more. Home of the Horsepower Happenings podcast, 500 Sprintcast, Gridline Social, Job Bank, Fastlane Images, KG Media, and so much more. MarkNews.org is the one stop for any race fan who needs to know what's going on in the Michigan area. Plus, get the Mark News weekly newsletter sent right to your inbox, FREE free. Sign up today and learn more at marknews.org. marknews.org, the Michigan Area Racing Connection.
Welcome back to Horsepower Happenings, and time for our first featured guest of the evening. And Zach and I, we were talking about this. It's been a while for this gentleman, right? Not that he hasn't won, but just trying to catch up with him. We used to spend a lot of time together with the American Ethanol Tours. That's how we got introduced to him, and then we become friends over the years. Picked up a big win at Winston Speedway. He's won there before too in the inaugural Move Over Michigan Dirt Late Model Series. Dona Marcoullier, welcome into Horsepower Happenings.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Zach. Thanks, Rich.
Man, we were there. I think the last time I was there at Winston, you had a big win there, and the fans were awful popular about it. And if you remember that night, how was it, man? I guess let's go to the other part. A dirt series in Michigan needed?
Yes, honestly, just it's where the sport's heading. Like it's like just the cost and everything like that. And it's just like a guy like me, I haven't raced that much this year, and just it's hard to go play for $1,200 or $1,500 to win for whatever it can cost in between racing fuel, barrel fuel, heck, diesel fuel, tires, even our motor bills and stuff nowadays. And it's hard to go run for $1,500 every week. But I'm very excited for what Jeff, Matt, everybody has done. I think it's going to grow. Honestly, they had some good results Friday night, just from the fan base and like drivers, and I'm really excited for the future for this deal.
And I looked at the top 10 and what ended up being the top 10, and that's tough anywhere you go, right? I mean, that is a hell of a field that you guys had.
Yeah, honestly, that was probably Michigan's best field of cars there. Plus, we had a couple of guys from out of state that come up, and I mean, it's neat to see Winston. I know I haven't been there in probably 4 or 5 years, and I mean, you walk in a facility and it's not even recognizable anymore. I'm proud of those guys for what they've done over there. So.
I was with Rich, and it was the player hater, I think, was the last time that I saw you at Winston. And you did. I think it was a last lap pass around Travis Stemler, got the fans just going. And this race, packed house. We saw the pictures. Fans are there. What was the environment like as you went back there and kind of looked to take home some money? Let's be honest about it, right? That's why we race. That's what we look to do, is to win races and try to keep the program going. What was the environment like on Friday night?
The biggest thing for us is we got so much family in that area. I mean, we had, the in-laws, and we had probably 25 people we brought to the racetrack just because we finally got to that side of the state. But no, honestly, the stands were packed. I feel like they had a good car count between all classes, and I don't know. I've always enjoyed Winston. I always like the shape of it. A lot of guys don't like the wall and stuff like that, but I don't know. I think it's probably one of the best facilities. I mean, there's a lot of them in Michigan. We can't just pick one because they're all good and they're all, all doing the best they can. But no, I do enjoy going over there. So.
What is it about that track? I mean, it's very unique. I would almost call it a little bit of a D shape, really. If you walk the track and from the infield, it really is a unique look with the light towers out by the infield, and then you've got the wall around the outside. It's pretty technical racetrack, Dona. What were you guys presented with on Friday?
The biggest thing, like qualifying, we're kind of around the hub there, and I showed it. I stuffed in the wall there qualifying, tore the deck and everything out of it. But it's a big momentum racetrack, and it's the way it's shaped. Like it does D down the back stretch for if you're really good at keeping your speed up and your momentum up, and not like bending the car. And you see a lot of guys like that shine if they're good on slick racetracks or something like that. But it's really it's a place where you can move all over. I know it kind of latched up about 8 or 10 laps to go, kind of in the middle, but like before that we can move all over the place. And it's just I don't know, I've always enjoyed the shape of it. Even a wall being around a racetrack doesn't intimidate nobody. You just got to carry some extra spoilers and deck panels and stuff like that. But no, it's I'm glad that place. I mean, it's when you pull in the driveway, it's like almost unrecognizable, honestly, for how much they've changed, between the backstretch and how they redesigned the pits, and it makes it easier for the big trucks and trailers to get in and out now instead of how it used to be being congested. But no, I'm actually I'm excited for their future.
You look at my race pass, and it makes it look pretty easy for you, right? Start up front, finish up front. But I'm sure it was far from that with the guys that were chasing you.
No, it's just field draw is always key. That's the biggest thing in the sport nowadays. Just look at our qualifying lap times. I think first through 10th was 0.3, or not even that, honestly. And it's the way our race cars are nowadays. We're not tenths apart. We're hundreds of parts now when we qualify and stuff. And and you can't make the ground up. I mean, you take a good race car and you take 10 good guys and you start the fastest guy, or who you think the fastest guy is 10th. And it's hard to go through the field. It's the way everybody is nowadays because we all have good equipment. But I got lucky with the field draw, and that helps out a lot with these cars. And even Winston's a small racetrack, but clean air does make a big difference on these things. But no, I couldn't ask for a better night, honestly. Just besides tearing the right front off on the wall there in qualifying, but that was about it. But that's just all, I guess, from not being a seat, I guess, as much as I am anymore. But no, just very happy. And then we went to the next site, the Crystal there, for that Ron Flynn 52, and won our heat race, ran second. And then just really confident in our program. I know. Some things have changed. We've got some new things going again, but I'm really confident on the direction we're going. So,
and just to go back to the qualifying point real quick, I see. Okay, so it was Mike Spatola with a 13.9, and then you go down to Dona at a 14.0, and in sixth, Jeffrey Erickson, Austin Harnick, Brandon Thurlby, and Cody Bauer in a 14.1. So yes, the top 10 right on top of each other in qualifying. Yep. Just to your point.
And it's like that everywhere. It's just the way these race cars are nowadays. I mean, there's no it's hard to make up time. I mean, the racetrack has to be either right or perfect, and we all have good stuff. So I mean,
And your
it's
qualifying draw is important too, right? Like we see that. I see that on the dirt sprint car side. Like the guys have as much anxiety about their qualifying draw as they do about the redraw for the feature if they can make it that far, because you don't know what kind of hand you're going to get dealt for qualifying.
No, it's the truth, and I know a lot of fans don't like, they like inverts and all that stuff, but for how the program is, I don't think this is rude, nothing like that, but like, I don't care for redraws. I'm the kind of guy, like, if you work hard at home, and I mean, yes, things do happen, but like, I feel like if you work hard, you qualify fast, you earn that spot, and I know it's not good for the fans sometimes, but we all want fans to be involved in this kind of stuff, but they just don't understand how hard we actually work in the house, to make our cars and our programs as good as they are. So it's just, I'm a guy, I don't like redraws, but I know it's always in my crutch my whole life. And you go back to my stats, I mean, I think there's 3 hard chargers here from ethanol days, passing the most cars because I never had luck redrawing. So for me to pull the one, I should have stopped at a casino or bought a lottery ticket or something that night. So, but.
You said it latched down later in the race. When you're out front before that, are you able to move around and kind of find something for yourself? And is it hard to do that when you're out front by yourself, not knowing what's going on behind you?
No, it is too. And I'm lucky enough. I mean, I got some good people like Derek and I. We communicate very well with hand signals and sticks. And then he kind of told me where I needed to be. But yeah, you can get beat. Honestly, you get comfortable and you ride around a little bit, and then some guy drives by you, either on the top or the bottom. And I know towards the end there, everybody closed up towards the end, but the racetrack kind of latched up where you couldn't move around and get out of that one groove because one groove is so dominant. But I felt like if I just didn't make a mistake with 5 to go, we were okay, make sure nothing broke. But no, I was actually, very satisfied with the night, honestly. And it's nice to, get the inaugural win for this deal. And I'm really excited for next year. I'm glad we have a lot of marketing partners in this series that can help. And I think it's going to grow. So.
We talked to Jeff Finley last week, and Jeff is extremely humble, and we're great friends, and glad to be friends of him and everything that he does, whether it's with Chad's racing or in our sport. And he talked about how important it was for him to go to tracks that already have an established program, not having a bunch of series officials, not having this traveling. I'm saying this is not Jeff's words, not having this traveling circus, but going to places that are maybe dirt car UMP sanctioned. They run late models on a regular basis, and Jeff can just help bring in some money for you guys to race for, but it's still just the track running the show. As a guy who races primarily in Michigan, are you happy with that, right? Because you kind of know what you're going to get. If you go and race at I-96 a few times a year, you know what you're going to get when you go there this Friday. You go up to Winston, you know what you're going to get when you go there. Or do you like having a traveling group of guys that would go with you? I think there's pros and cons to both.
I mean, there is yes and no, but I think it's not. I don't think it's as big as it needs to be because honestly, for like a series to live and survive, they don't need a payroll or they need to have trucks and trailers and all the guys to go do it. For what we need to do here in Michigan, I think right now it's perfect. Let Zach or you guys, Zach, you, Rich, Matt, let them come in with their program and stuff, and then once they get there, they just back away, and I think it was a good results Friday night, honestly. And it's less, I wouldn't say payroll, but you're not worried about, a group of 5 guys going to the racetrack and, worrying about their situation. And, and I think we've all done this so long, like when it comes to Jeff, and we kind of know what works and doesn't work. And, so there really shouldn't be any issue with that. So
let's go back to, well, and I kind of know how the rumor mill works. So I'm sure you heard some scuttlebutt about something maybe happening at some point. And then July comes around and it's officially announced. Is there a level of excitement to have another established series, or the idea of a premise of an established series? We went from having what I thought was a pretty good thing with American Ethanol, maybe got a little big for our britches at one point. Then you have the Challenge Series, which was a nice, a nice attempt and something that, just whatever, it fell to the wayside. Yep. We've kind of been floundering here for the last 3 years or so. What was your reaction when you heard that this might be coming?
Well, it's like we were up at Meritor for Woodtick there, and Matt come in and we talked a little bit about what was going on, and he finally had this is going to happen. And I think it's great because honestly, right now, look at the car counts. You know what I mean? Honestly, I think Saturday night there was only 2 racetracks in the state racing late models, and I think there was only 30 or 34 cars total in the whole state. So we're all in a hole as as everything. I mean, as a racing community, and I mean, it's just nothing with the ethanol stuff. I mean, it was great. You know, I had some great runs, and was able to win some money, and I'll never forget those memories and stuff. But I think they just got too big. They started trying to go out of state, and I think if they can just focus on just the Michigan region and focus on growing just the Michigan guys, I think it'll stick around for a long time, because we still have a lot of guys that still do it. But like back in those days, and I lived up in Holton Lake, and for us to go to, we'll say, Indiana or even Illinois, it was an 8-hour ride, and it's just not even feasible for a working man to do that kind of stuff. And it kind of turned into a traveling series. And then at the end of the day, I think that last year they had the ethanol, I think, where they had 5 guys follow the series, and I don't think that's enough to keep it going. So.
Right. Yeah. Want to take a quick second here to say thank you to our interview partner for tonight's show. That's Extreme Indoor Kart Racing and Entertainment Center, run by racers for race fans and racers and really anybody. This is exciting stuff. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Friday and Saturday and Sunday, they are open, and you can go up there and see what it's all about. Get behind the wheel of some really cool go-karts, and it's more than go-kart racing as well. They offer arcades, prize games, skee ball, billiards, air hockey. They also do private events. They have snacks, beverages, apparel, so much going on. They also have the LS2 helmets for sale, and you can host a party. You can get the crew together, a corporate event, or you can just take the family up to Clio and have some fun at Extreme Indoor Kart Racing and Entertainment Center. Visit their website. Noah, you put this in the chat last time. I invite you to do it again because it's quite the website. It's hard to just get the letters out and make sure everybody knows what it is. EIKR, Extreme Indoor Kart Racing.net. So the letters EIKR.net, or you can find them on Facebook, Extreme Indoor Karting Entertainment Center, and find out more information. And Dona, you'll be on my short list of guys who I'm going to ask to keep November 14th clear on your calendar, because Horsepower Happenings and Extreme Indoor Kart Racing and Event Center are coming up with some cool stuff. We want to have you there. So I'll get you more details pretty soon. Should be fun. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you go kart?
Yeah, it's been a long time, but yeah.
Okay.
So I guess now I can fit in them. So I guess that's different. So.
Hey, I guess let's do the personal life thing a little bit, because Rich was telling me that you moved recently, and it's pretty noticeable that you look good, man. Not that you didn't before, but you can tell when somebody's kind of changed their lifestyle. What's going on?
I just really changed. I mean, I'm 42 years old now, and it's kind of like Thanksgiving. We come home from a day with the family, and you get on a scale and you kind of shock yourself. But no, just working hard, honestly. I mean, I didn't really change much. I just changed really just my eating habits, and I've always been active, and but honestly, just instead of eating a bag of chips a night and all that good stuff and cookies, and you just kind of focus on just what you need to eat. And it's been, I'm not gonna lie, Zach, it's been the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I mean, it's still hard.
How long have you been on this journey? How long has this journey been for you?
Basically since November, honestly. So I just
really?
It's been good, honestly. I need to buy a new seat for the race car, because like Saturday night there at Windsor at Crystal there, I had to take a ratchet strap and kind of tie the seat back together and squeeze it for I wouldn't fly around. But no, it's been good, honestly. It's just it's been a good life change, and I just think but no, life's been good, honestly. We moved down to Wasso. Rick and Mandy Goki, them from Modified and from All Star Towing and All Star Repair. I mean, we've been friends, for 15 years, and he approached me with an opportunity about 5 years ago to come down and help him open a salvage yard with him and his family, and that's really been where I've been. I mean, we still have our race car stuff and things like that, but I've devoted my whole life to making this thing go, and it's been good, honestly. It's very rewarding, and I'm very happy where that direction is going too. Honestly, I can't thank them enough, and it's been a big change. Moving 2 hours from home, and and all your friends and your family. Like my dad still comes down on the weekends and helps us, but it's but my main focus is to get that business going, and it's been good, honestly. I mean, we got some great people. We're all friends in this deal, and we all love racing. Jeff Cumming, he's a 4-cylinder guy. Blake, Rick's son, Rick and Mandy's son. I mean, he does 3 stocks, 4 cylinders, modifieds. Like, it's really fun, honestly. I'm really glad, and I'm very proud to be, that they approached me with this opportunity, and we're great friends too. Honestly, actually, we were just we went racing Saturday night together at Crystal, and we parked next to each other, and we just it's really a blast. So.
Dona, Zach and I were talking about, because I said, I don't think he's racing as much as he used to anymore, to be honest with you. In the last 2 weeks, this was your 16th race this year, according to my race pass. You had 16 all last year. Then you go back a couple years, it was 34 races, 10 wins. Is this a conscious effort that because the late model scene here in Michigan has not been what it used to be, that you can't afford to run the race car? You just got other priorities now.
It's kind of our priorities, honestly. I mean, the business has been my priority. And it's finally getting to the point where it's going good, and then we can venture out and start doing some things again. But honestly, it was just a life choice. Honestly, I mean, I've raced for 25 years. I mean, I've been doing it for 42 years because my dad was and stuff like that. And I still enjoy it. I mean, I know this weekend's going to hurt because I'm not going to be there Friday night. I had some things.
Oh, no.
I know. Like, not trying to sound foolish, but there's no car in the shop. So
yeah.
I had some other plans we already kind of made for this year towards the end of the year. And last Saturday night was the last night for that Longhorn car. And actually had a gentleman come up from Tennessee and purchase it from us. And so I'm actually currently without a race car in the shop. So it's, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm very looking forward to next year. I mean, we've got some new things going for next year. But I know Jeff was messing me last night trying to find a ride or something like that. But
that's what I was gonna say. Can we find you something to put you in? That's
Jeff's got 2 cars, doesn't he?
Yeah, doesn't Chad's got a couple cars, I'm sure.
But even like for our stuff too, like our program, like when we had a big, the liftgate trailer and 2 cars and motors and stuff, and just it got to the point where I didn't race enough to be able to, I don't say keep the stuff, but there's no sense having that kind of money invested anymore if you're not using it. It's like for us. I mean, we went down and we had 1 car, 2 motors. We've got some really good people involved in our program. Like Matt Ryan. Ryan Competition Engines. I mean, I wouldn't. I take his stuff anywhere, and he's a great friend. I mean, we talk every day, and he's been huge to me and as a friend. And like I said, his motors, I wouldn't run anything else, honestly. And I can and being we've got some friends, my Derek and Al Haskins and my main crew guys, they come over here a couple times a week, and we still have everybody around to do it. It's just hard on Fridays when you step away and you got other priorities. It's just one of them things. But no, I really do feel bad for missing Friday, but I already had this commitment, and it is what it is, I guess. But there'll be more next year. So how's that? So
that's right. Jeff Finley with the damn it in the chat. So I think he's still holding out hope, but hey, anything can happen. So with this series, the importance is to highlight Michigan and its talent and the drivers that it has. That's been very clear from Jeff from the very start. And I still think Michigan, I think Michigan and Illinois have probably the top crop of late model guys. When you guys do go out of state, if you go down to Montpelier or go down to Northwest Ohio, we expect our guys to run up front. There's some great rewards to go around here, and I think that's a great thing for these guys. What do you hope to see next year, as they get through these 3 races this year to kind of get their feet wet? What do you hope to see out of next year, whether it's an 8-10 schedule, 8-10 race schedule, and I guess what are your hopes for this?
I mean, honestly, I mean, that's really all it needs to be. I mean, it doesn't need to be a 20 race deal. It doesn't need to be like the Ironman stuff, where you're up and down the roads and you're committing every week. And I think it's going to be more of the working man series. That's kind of how my opinion is. I know Jeff has had some great ideas. I know it's going to grow next year, and I think it's going to be perfect. Honestly, I think it's going to be right. Little 8 to 10, 12 race. I mean, and hopefully all these racetracks do get with Jeff and support him. I know there's a lot of racetracks in Michigan that I hope will be up to the table to support this little deal, and they'll have some good car counts too. Even being like this year, like nobody planned to have a 3 race mini series at the end of the year, but I really feel like we had 24 cars Friday night.
Yes, I think 20. I think 23. I think is what ended up starting. But yeah, anyhow, yeah.
And that's a great field of cars, honestly. And I think for any racetrack promoter, that's probably all they want. So it's just, right. I think it's good, honestly. And what's neat about this series right now is everybody's worked with marketing partners, like us, with our Savage Drive. We sponsored, Rick sponsored the Fast Time Award, and AK Custom Apparel. I mean, with Lab Money, Hard Chargers. I mean, that's really what it's about, because everybody gets a chance to get a little bit. Even our heat race wins too. I mean, $100 to win a heat race. I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, I think that's pretty neat. So,
well, I know, I like Mike Spatola, right? Comes in, sets fast time, wins a heat race. Didn't win the main event, but he still left there with a decent amount of money because of the other things that were going on. The last thing I wanted to make about this with the series too is, we all travel so much. I think the move over Michigan portion of it is enticing to me, because it is something that I spend a lot of time on the highway, and I see a lot of drivers who are, distracted and not paying attention and don't follow the laws that we have here in our state. And I'm sure you see it too, Dona. I think it's great that this series is twofold. It's something that Jeff is intentional about for dirt late model racing in Michigan. And then, of course, the other part of it of trying to protect families and guys and gals who are working on the side of the road.
No, it's true, honestly, and just because we work in the industry now, and like I said, we're on the side of the road too, just as much as anybody else, and we see it every day. Honestly, it's just it's a shame, honestly. I mean, knock on some wood, our company's been good. We've had some close calls. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, we got one gentleman here that works with us here. I know last winter he had a pretty close call, and but no, I think this is all for good cause and good meetings, and it was neat seeing the support that everybody's given to this. Even like over at Winston, I think there's 4 or 5 record companies that showed up with records and stuff to support it, and it's just it's neat, honestly. I'm really proud of Jeff and just proud of everybody. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be a good deal, and I think it's going to last for a while. And people don't understand how hard let's start a little mini series. Let's go have some fun. No, there's a lot of headaches and making sure all the funds are there and all that good stuff. So I applaud Jeff for for taking the time out of his busy schedule. I know he's busy with work and to make this happen for us. So.
And I know, Dona, you were talking about it. It's hard to bring the car out of the shop when, if the pay's not up there, because it's got to be viable for you, right, as well. But 7 years ago when Zach and I and you, we were running down the road every week, every 2 weeks with the ethanol tour, and it's 4,000 to win every night. That's pretty easy to take it out on the road for a whole weekend. I'm thinking a lot of guys are going to be watching these 3 races and really make plans on jumping on board. What about you think for next season?
I do too, honestly. I mean, I know Jeff's just like us. He's a racer, so he'll probably try to schedule a couple nights where, say, if we, try to make it where we don't have to travel as far from Friday night to Saturday night. But I think like back in the ethanol days, I knock on some wood. I've had a great career. I've got over, I think I got 225 feature wins in the late model, and I've got some 10,000s. I've been very blessed. I've had some great people behind me. Great sponsors that have helped me, friends, and just. I know life changes and there's a lot of people who come and go, but I still thank every one of them, honestly, because, without any kind of opportunities and stuff, I wouldn't be where I'm at. But like I said, those ethanol days, I ain't going to lie. Like, I think it was 2017. I think we had that like dream year. We won 15 races. And I don't think we finished out of the top 3. And, I that was like a dream year in a race car, because there was a lot of funds and that's how we kept going. Honestly, we just bought new equipment.
It didn't get by me that you've got an ethanol check hanging up there from Merit, and is that an ethanol championship check hanging up there?
I think it's the first one from 16 or that's how old they are. But
yeah, so let's see. It was Neeser in 15, then you in 16 and 17, and then Thurlby in 18 and 19.
Yep.
I think was how that went. So yeah, cool days, man. I agree with you and Rich. Those were neat opportunities that we had, and bummer that it disappeared, but it served its purpose while it was here. So all right, we got to move on. Gary, did you know is coming up next? Got to give you a shot, though. Not everybody was able to listen on Track Tune or be at Winston Speedway on Friday night. The car is gone, so this is going to be a big task for you, Dona. Let us know who it is that made it possible for you to get to victory lane.
No, I'm still going to go there and support Jeff and stuff Friday night and stuff and still be a part of it. Trust me. I would have loved to keep it for another week or two, to finish this deal out. But I had some commitments, and I'm not going to take risk. And
no. What I meant was that the challenge would be you can't read the names on the side of the car now to tell us who made it possible for you to get to victory lane.
No, I just want to thank everybody. Honestly, we've had some great people. Like for us, our All-Star Auto Salvage, almost All-Star Towing Repair. Rick and Mandy. Holiday Sand and Gravel. Going to be challenges, honestly, but. I know it's tough when you don't have the car in front of you, but like Steve Randall, a lot of my friends were Holton Lake, Jimmy's Collision. I know he brought up lap money and stuff too, and Hard Charger Award. Jimmy Smith, and he's like my older brother. We've been friends, since we moved to Holton Lake 40 years ago, and he comes to the racetrack and he supports me, and but like Randall's Collision, McBain Body Shop, really just all of our product stuff. Matt Ryan Competition Engines. Without him, who knows where I'd be, honestly. But just want to thank, just everybody. Everybody who's helped me in my career, my wife, my dad, Derek Reichert. He's one of my main crew guys, and he's one of my best friends. He was in my wedding. He's my best man in my wedding, and we do a lot of things together. Al Haskins, he comes over and, helps wash the car and all that good stuff. Without those guys, it's just, it they've always made my life easier. But I just really want to thank everybody. Danita, my dad's girlfriend. I mean, she's at the racetrack every week, watching or waxing the car after every time it comes off the racetrack. I mean, I just, for us, racing's family, and that's what it's about. It's not about all the wins anymore. We've had a great career, but like I said, the biggest thing is when you get to go to racetrack and you get to see all your friends and your family and just enjoy yourself. And that's what I love about it, because we all do it and we all love it. So, but no, really excited. Next year, we got a new car coming. It's just not done yet. But I'm really excited. So I just want to thank everybody, and even like you guys, I always love to watch it all, and try to make our racetracks, or even our asphalt stuff and still trying to bring it to the table, and try to get some notoriety, thank all the track promoters, and hopefully we can keep this thing going, because we all know how our economy is right now, and when you're paying $6 a gallon for diesel fuel, it makes it hard to travel. But
I got it for $4.99 yesterday, Dona. I thought I hit the lottery.
I know, it's crazy.
Hey, real quick, I got 3 from the chat that I want to make sure I get. Nate Murphy just jumped on here and said, "Heck of a driver and person," talking about you, Dona. Jeff Finley suggests that you may have got hurt in that qualifying crash when you hit the wall, asking about your hand. How's that doing?
Oh, it's all good. I mean, I got 2 fingers that don't bend very well, but I got my hand caught in the steering wheel, but it didn't affect nothing. We were still, but no, it's doing good. Every day it gets better. I didn't break nothing, but it just swelled up to the size of a softball type of deal. I had 2 fingers about as big as my head, but it happens. I haven't hit the wall in a long time, so I got to remember to let go of the wheel, or you get smacked. Yeah. But it's been a long time. But usually I don't wad my stuff up, so it's just but when you're trying to get that qualifying lap, I mean, you try to get the extra hundredths, and I tried, and it's just how it goes. But we were able to lay down that 6 quick time, got us in the outside row of a heat race, and but no, recovered well, and I just want to thank everybody, honestly. There's a lot of people, and I can't think of anybody. All our fans, Rick and Bob Bobby Jones. They sell our T-shirts, and they do T-shirts for us, and they work their butt off, and it's just everybody that's behind the scenes that don't ever get noticed. It's just All-Star Quick Car. I mean, all of our product sponsors. Nickerson Trucking. Brian's always been huge to me, and it's just every time we go to racetrack, Colleen feeds us, and it's just it's all about our family, and that's what I love about our sport. So, all
right, last thing here, and we're already behind schedule, so let's just make it one more. Brad in the chat asking about the status of late models right now. Are they too aero dependent? And you talked a lot about the importance of starting up front, so I think I know what you're going to say.
Yep. Yes, honestly, and the only way to fix it's the bodies. Like, give you an example. I had a newer Longhorn last year, and I had a twisted deck, kind of like what you see in all the newer Outlaw stuff. And put it this way, I sold that car because my older car was better because it didn't have the twisted deck. Like, I feel like this sounds weird, you know what I mean? Because I'm a racer, but like I feel like the car I have was better in lap traffic than it was in open track. It's a weird thing. Like I said, and the only way to fix it is straighten the bodies up, make the nose square. There's no fix to it. And what's ruined our sport is, and actually Matt and I talk about this a lot. It's all the, it's not like in regional series. It's always the bigger stuff. But like, there's no ARCA. There's no. I don't want to explain this, Zach. Like your ARCA and truck stuff. I mean, all the millionaires that were putting all the money in ARCA and years ago, they don't do that anymore. And their next thing was to come to dirt racing. So like when you see all your Lucas guys, that's just a big write-off to a lot of their teams. And that's brought all the engineers into our sport. And I really feel like it ruined our sport, honestly. Like, there's guys out there paying, $10,000 for shock packages and stuff like that, and that's just unheard of.
Did I read not long ago that somebody took a dirt late model to a wind tunnel or something like that? I mean,
that's been going on for years, honestly. But
crazy.
It's just, the skew of our race cars have made them so dominant. Like I said, our cars have so much traction in them nowadays. That's a big purpose to motors. I mean, you probably see the Zach, and I'm trying to talk about. You see a lot more hurt motors today than you ever have in your life, and that's all because of how much downforce and how much load is on these race cars. I mean, it don't matter if it's wide open traction or slick. Our cars are still laboring these engines, and you know what I mean. And now we went from having $20,000 motors to $50,000 motors, and they're still breaking. So it's just it's the whole thing, honestly. But yes, Brad is right. Our cars are so aero dependent. It don't matter if it's small track, big track. I mean, it's made it for. And this is why our pill draws are so important, because it's made it where you can't pass. Because we get that dirty air, you'll lose 3 or 4 tenths, and you'll see this a lot in lap traffic. And you see a guy out front by a straightaway, And as soon as you get in traffic, you'll see the rest of the field catching me because they can't turn anymore. So it's just, it's so wild. So.
All right. We have Gary Did You Know coming up, Dylan Stovall straight ahead as well. This has been Dona Marcoullier, winner of the inaugural event with the Move Over Michigan Dirt Late Model Series. Congratulations, sir. Glad to have you back on the show. It had been a long time. Thank you for doing it.
Sounds good, guys. Thanks, guys.
All right. We'll take a break. When we come back, Gary Did You Know straight ahead here on Horsepower Happenings.
KG Media is your home for all things photography, race day social media, and more. Cody Geyer brings more than a decade of experience working with the top brands in short track racing. From individual photos to full race days, social media to PR, KG Media can make your race team, race track, or touring series stand out. For more information, go to marknews.org or visit KG Media on Facebook.
Make sure your brand stands out from the crowd with Madman signs and designs. Flashy, clean, color, or simplistic, Madman signs and designs can make sure your race car, business vehicle, merchandise, or even your iRacing rig looks exactly how you dreamed it would. Get designs that help your brand, team, or business stand out from the crowd with the Madman at Madman Signs and Designs. Call 517-647-9573 or find Madman Signs and Designs on Facebook.
Mark News is back. Michigan Area Racing Connection News keeps fans in the tri-state area up to date on national headlines, local results, regional news, and so much more. Home of the Horsepower Happenings podcast, 500 Sprintcast, Gridline Social, Job Bank, Fastlane Images, KG Media, and so much more. MarkNews.org is the one stop for any race fan who needs to know what's going on in the Michigan area. Plus, get the Mark News weekly newsletter sent right to your inbox, FREE free. Sign up today and learn more at MarkNews.org. MarkNews.org, the Michigan Area Racing Connection.
One of the biggest question marks for your event is, what are we going to do for food? Heavenly Smoked Barbecue is your answer. Serving Michigan and Northern Indiana, Heavenly Smoked Barbecue brings the best from the grill to your plate with pulled pork, pork belly, chicken, mac and cheese, baked beans, and more. Graduation open house, birthday parties, weddings, festivals. If it needs food, Heavenly Smoked Barbecue will offer options that will have them saying, that smells heavenly. Call 269-908-3948 or find Heavenly Smoked Barbecue on Facebook.
The Horsepower Happenings podcast is Michigan's short track racing authority. For nearly a decade, Horsepower Happenings has given race fans a chance to hear directly from their favorite drivers, local track owners, and promoters. Horsepower Happenings is the only podcast keeping fans engaged with Michigan area racing for 52 weeks a year. Don't miss the Horsepower Happenings podcast live on Facebook every Monday night at 6:30 and available everywhere you enjoy podcasts. Visit horsepowerhappenings.com and follow on Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube.
Think your camper handled the winter just fine? Think again. Every time the temperature fluctuates, drop moisture freezes and expands, turning tiny hairline cracks into major pathways for water. That freeze-thaw cycle is a silent killer for RV seals. If you haven't had a professional roof and exterior sealant inspection this spring, you're likely towing a leak you can't see yet. Midwest Camper Repair specializes in catching that winter damage before it reaches your interior. We're mobile and we check it all from the roof to the floor. Don't let a winter crack ruin your summer fun. Call Midwest Camper Repair today and start the season sealed tight. Call 419-799-1171. That's 419-799-1171. Or visit MidwestCamperRepair.com. Serving the tri-state area from the roof to the floor, Midwest Camper Repair has you covered.
Welcome back to Horsepower Happenings. Rich and I in a little bit of a stalemate on who's bringing us out of the commercial break because it is time for Gary Did You Know here on Horsepower Happenings. And, of course, Gary Did You Know brought to you by Going Green Trophies and Awards in Traverse City. Gary Lindahl, Michigan Motorsports Hall of Famer. Welcome back to Horsepower Happenings.
Okay, and here is one shameless plug for my sponsor here. I've got that showing that, so. And
Tis
Mark
the
News.
season. Tis the season. Look what I found today.
Nice.
From our sponsor.
Very nice.
Alan just hooks us up, man. He does, and he does a great job.
And also, I have my Bob Finley Memorial T-shirt on in honor of Jeff Finley's birthday.
Oh.
I thought I'd wear that because Jeff's a longtime friend. I think we grew up together. He started racing, I started announcing, and we've been together for 40-plus years, so I thought I'd wear that one today.
All right, Rich, this is the part of the program where I hand it over to you because You know better than I do.
Yeah, well, I don't know much better than you do. But Gary, we're going to go back to July's quiz and we're going to do the answer reveal. So we're going to do it the same way. I'm going to quiz you. You're going to give your answers. Got it?
All right.
All right. Question number 1. They call him Magic Shoes. This was kind of an easy one.
Well, that was kind of right down the middle softball, Mike McLaughlin, he's East Coast driver, modified driver, well known. And hey, I got to do that once in a while,
Chuck Darling got that one right today, but I don't know if Chuck's going to get all 3 of them.
Now,
we have to keep going.
Now be careful, because Chuck Darling commented on behalf of somebody who commented on his post. So these are actually from Mike. Is it Pashak, who commented on his share of the post. So I just want to make sure Mike gets his credit. Chuck didn't take a run at these. Mike did.
All right. Question number 2. I like this. This late model driver had a real fast name.
Well, this is, and anybody that's known the quizzes, they know Lindahl. They should know me by now. We've done this for just about 5 years now. And that late model driver would be Keith Quick.
Okay.
Quick.
Somebody thought maybe Fast Eddie Hayden would be.
Well, you see, but if you looked at the question, it had fast in it.
Well, I'm just telling you what people said, Gary.
I know, and I love Fast Eddie Hayden. I mean, we were buddies. I announced him for many years.
And Gary didn't say nickname; he said name.
Yeah, that's the thing.
See, okay. There's clues in a question. You just got to read them. Read the question. All right, let's go to question number 3. Where is Brooklands Speedway located?
That is located in Manitoba, Canada.
Now I think that Mike got that right too. Or Mike,
he said Winnipeg, Alberta.
Oh, really?
Well, it's Manitoba.
Yeah, the right country.
Yeah, well, just like the United States, you got a lot of racetracks in the United States, just like Canada, So.
All right, and along the same lines, Gary, question number 4: where was Onteora Speedway located?
I just thought this was a neat. College Bridge, New York. I'm just wondering if they drank a lot of martinis there. That's all I wanted to know.
But Mike did
I had to go there.
He did get Olive Bridge, New York. So nice job to Mike. And I'm actually trying to pull up. Brad Bergevin did message us late today with his answers. But can I take a second here? Thinking of Brad and his family, Brad's father's been in the hospital for quite some time and is dealing with some pretty serious stuff. He tells me that he's making progress, though, so we're glad for that. Brad, thinking of you and your family. So hopefully your dad pulls through and everything goes well. Brad Bergevin, let's see. He thought answer to question number 1 was Larry Hot Socks McCluskey. Hail Mary shot in the dark, he said.
Well, that might be.
I'm sorry. That was last week. How about Larry Hot Socks McCluskey? Gary Fast was his answer for number 2.
Okay.
Winnipeg, Alberta, Canada was his answer for number 3. And then Olive Bridge, New York, he did get that one.
Okay.
I was Hot Socks McCluskey. I like that.
I was actually friends with Larry Hot Socks McCloskey. Isn't that amazing? I actually was a friend of his. He had some interesting stories. And
is there anybody you don't know?
That's a good question. That's really is a good question.
All right,
it's all
Gary,
the crazy people you run into.
Let's go with your August quiz, and we're going to turn the questions over to you, sir.
Okay, question number 1. What did the West Michigan Fairground racetrack become?
I hadn't even heard of that anyway, so that had to have been a long time ago.
I've heard of the answer, but I hadn't heard of the questions.
Exactly. No hints, okay?
That's it.
No hints, Zach.
No, we're done giving hints.
Okay, question number 2. This open-wheel driver was nicknamed Squeaky. I just thought it was cool. I thought that was cool.
Zach and Rich are 0 for 2.
There you go. All right. Question number 3. What did UARAI stand for?
See, I read this question too fast. I read this question too fast at the beginning when I first saw it.
Exactly. You can say what you want, but I kind of emphasized one letter in there, okay? So at least to give you that.
Yeah, this might be a tough one. We'll see. We'll see if anybody gets that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we all would have had it if you didn't add that last letter.
Yeah, I know that was bad of me, wasn't it? Oh well. Anyway, that's what we're all here for, for you not to give any gear, and I can get some more gear for myself. See, that's what I'm begging
No,
for.
we don't mind giving away gear anymore. We don't mind.
I know. I like to see somebody get them all. You know.
All right,
Back
let's
in the
go
old
question
days,
number 4, Gary.
Okay, question number 4. Who was called Fashion Frank?
Okay, I'm going to ask a
half
question.
the answers there. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Go ahead.
Zach, stop.
Go ahead.
Why was he called Fashion Frank? Did he dress appropriately or highly at the racetrack, or what, or inappropriately?
Whoa! No.
I don't think it was inappropriately. And to answer your question, I have no clue. Okay. Otherwise, but he had to be. I mean, somebody with a name like that has got to be somebody that dressed pretty sharp at the racetrack, like we do every Saturday night, Rich. You know. Same
Yeah.
as.
Well, there you go. Now I know why.
Okay, there you go. Same as. Same as.
It.
I got the beer, by the way, Saturday.
Thank you. Yes, I'm not going to be here next week. I have a golf trip, so I got Cody Geyer filling in for me on next Monday. Everybody's going to be excited about that. Cody does a great job.
Okay, that's cool.
Are you going to drink the beer Saturday at Flat Rock, or do I need to go?
Oh, I'll be there Saturday. I'm not
You'll
leaving.
be there
Sunday
Saturday.
morning. Come on, Zach. You know me. I'm not leaving town with a full cooler of Gary's beer.
Okay.
Especially if I'm buying, he'll be there. Okay.
That's right. See,
it's my 20. My 20.
It all makes its way down the generations. You buy for Rich buys for me. It's good. It's good.
Exactly.
So,
you know, I mean, that's generational stuff or whatever about that.
I bought this weekend, and
yeah,
then
that's right.
And then we didn't need that because Terry Bogus and Andrew Bogus stopped by and opened their cooler, so we didn't have to drink my beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that's not fair. Nobody shows up like that when I buy the beer. You know, we drink all my beer. You know, I wish Terry and Andrew would show up every week.
Oh, this is going off the rails in a hurry.
Yes.
All right. Dylan Stovall waiting in the wings. How about that, Gary? Did you see $20,000 richer is Dylan Stovall from West Michigan?
Oh, I think Bubba Pollard pushed him right across the finish line, too.
Hey, you know what,
He sure
though?
did. That was a great race.
Dylan's going to cash the check and not Bubba, so all is well.
There you go. That's all that matters. That was really cool. Glad to see that. You know, Gary, I like to see somebody like him.
Yeah. Gary, I appreciate you, sir. Thank you for all you do. Thank you to Going Green Trophies and Awards, not just the mugs that we always talk about, but they also, of course, can do plaques, trophies, and it doesn't have to be racing related either. Bowling going to be coming up again this winter. If you've got rec league softball or rec league football, or maybe you're giving out awards to your football team, if it's a middle school team or high school team, whatever you're doing, if you need something made for it, our friend Al at Going Green Trophies and Awards can take care of it. And I
got a couple nice koozies too.
I was going to say, we don't just peddle his stuff because he sponsors us. It's good stuff. Like this is, this is not going to come off. It's not a sticker. It's not, it's in there. So this is
all I use from now. You know, that's the only thing I have in my, you know, and I like the way they did it on the bottom. So you could fit it into any cup holder in a vehicle.
Yes, sir. So thank you to Al. Thank you to Going Green. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate you, my friend.
Always a pleasure. See you next month.
All right, we'll take a break. Dylan Stovall coming up. This is the Horsepower Happenings podcast.
Saturday, August 22nd, the Ron Hauser Memorial roars into Owasso Speedway. Watch the Outlaw Super Late Models headline a full night on the legendary 3/8-mile high-banked asphalt. Alderman's Late Model Sportsman and Appleby Oil and Propane Sport Compacts also join us to bring even more wheel-to-wheel action. Gates open at 4 and racing starts at 6. Come feel the thunder of the Speedway on Saturday, August 22nd.
The Horsepower Happenings podcast is Michigan's short track racing authority. For nearly a decade, Horsepower Happenings has given race fans a chance to hear directly from their favorite drivers, local track owners, and promoters. Horsepower Happenings is the only podcast keeping fans engaged with Michigan area racing for 52 weeks a year. Don't miss the Horsepower Happenings podcast live on Facebook every Monday night at 6:30 and available everywhere you enjoy podcasts. Visit horsepowerhappenings.com and follow on Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube.
Think your camper handled the winter just fine? Think again. Every time the temperature fluctuates, drop moisture freezes and expands, turning tiny hairline cracks into major pathways for water. That freeze-thaw cycle is a silent killer for RV seals. If you haven't had a professional roof and exterior sealant inspection this spring, you're likely towing a leak you can't see yet. Midwest Camper Repair specializes in catching that winter damage before it reaches your interior. We're mobile and we check it all from the roof to the floor. Don't let a winter crack ruin your summer fun. Call Midwest Camper Repair today and start the season sealed tight. Call 419-799-1171. That's 419-799-1171 or visit MidwestCamperRepair.com. Serving the tri-state area from the roof to the floor, Midwest Camper Repair has you covered.
He's the most recent driver to get to say, hell yeah, brother, and cash in on $20,000 as we welcome you back to Horsepower Happenings. And our final featured interview of the night, Dylan Stovall. What is going on, my friend?
Oh, yeah, brother. Thank you guys for having me.
The Big Ass Lakes 75 winner, second favorite race name in racing history, the Uranus Fudge Packer Factory whatever 100 from Anderson Speedway's number one. We got to start at the very beginning of last week though, because it all kind of culminates to Tuesday practice, right, to get ready for Battle at Berlin. Man, what a week for you. So let's go back to Tuesday practice, getting ready for the Battle at Berlin. Like, how are things, right? You're second in the championship point standings, and you've been really consistent this year. Where's your head at on Tuesday getting ready for Battle?
Yeah, things were good Tuesday. We felt really good about the car. It's been a struggle with me from the beginning, but qualifying at Berlin has not been my strong suit. So it was something I was not terribly worried about because we've started way back in the back at these big races and been fine, but I would have liked to make it a lot easier on myself and my team. So we kind of worked on Q speed almost a little too much. I feel like I kind of worried myself about that and kind of got off track on Tuesday just a little bit. But other than that, Tuesday was really good. We felt good about the car. We put a set of tires on it. Mocks felt all right. Wasn't mad at ourselves for where we were because we knew our long run trim was going to be there.
So Wednesday, you mentioned it, and I didn't get a chance to watch the race, but I thought back to Money in the Bank, and you qualified, not quite like ass, but you definitely qualified cheeks at Money in the Bank, but you ended up ninth before the red flag came for the weather, and then you ended up on the podium by the end of the race. Not quite the same results at Battle. What were you missing on Wednesday?
So honestly, when we took our first set of tires and it was still sunny out, we got halfway through that run after we got our first set, and I could have told you, I told the guys on the radio, we have a piece, we're going to be touching to win this thing. I felt really good in the seat, and after the next long run came about, we decided we wanted to take tires. I'll take full blame on it. My team did nothing wrong. They listened to me, and I told them don't touch the car and just put tires on it. And we just trended a little too tight there on that next run when the sun set and the track cooled off. Should have had them free up the race car a little bit, but take it to the chin, and you live and you learn, and you go back after the race, on the ride home, and man, if I could have just and try and not beat myself up too much. But no, we had a really good night. Had 7.
Still plus 10, right? 17-7. Still plus 10.
No, we were stoked about it, and live and you learn, and we put it in the notebook and save it for next year.
In a tough field, like you said, just outside the top 5, nothing to hang your guys' head about. How are you feeling going into $20,000 to win this weekend?
I was feeling really good, but on the other side, I was nervous in the sense, like Zach had mentioned, we're sitting seconds in points, and this isn't a points race, and Cletus throws $20,000 at us for 75 laps, and we're used to running for $5,000 or $4,000 for 75 laps on a regular night at Berlin. So I was a little nervous it was going to get a little hectic, but other than that, felt really good about the car. I knew, like I always say, it's a broken record by now. Our long run trip was good, and we felt prepared. We knew going in, yes, it's $20,000, but we just need to treat it like a regular night. It's only 75 laps, and we'll see what we got.
Now, we've talked many times at the racetrack. We've talked to you on Horsepower Happenings after wins. $20,000, Mr. Stovall. How's that feel?
It's absolutely incredible. Had a few beers, of course, after the race that night, and still woke up at 7 a.m. to make sure the thing was on the kitchen table where I put it that night, because I was so amped up. But no, it's absolutely unbelievable. I mean, the guys I have behind me, the small crew, and the blessed car owner I have, we've been working really hard, and we've came close so many times, whether it was even on a regular night. That's what we've dreamed of just winning, and it finally paid off, and to do it in a big way has been a true blessing.
I want to talk about the race and kind of get into that a little bit. Obviously, I think almost everybody saw the ending. You got a little help coming across the finish line. Yeah. We'll get to that. Qualified ninth, the redraw invert. I mean, Blake had to roll a dice.
Yeah.
And it puts Cletus on the front row. Where do you end up after that? After the dice roll, where did you start?
Third.
Oh, nice. Okay,
yeah.
So I didn't see the full starting lineup. Okay, we're talking about you, Bubba Pollard, Blake Rowe, Seth Christensen, right? Andrew Scheids, good there. Brian Campbell, Michael Atwill, Trayton Lapsevich, right? Chris Shannon, Boris Yurkovic. This race was not for. I mean, it was not lacking anybody. After qualifying ninth, and what we kind of talked about with you and qualifying, and then your car coming in late, did you have a little boost of confidence there after the dice roll?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it definitely made my life a lot easier. I mean, I knew going into it that, especially, like I say, for 20 grand and 75 laps, like track position was going to be everything. Everybody was going to fight for every position, no matter if it was lap 2 or lap 60. Like, track position was huge. So that definitely calmed the nerves and made me feel a little bit better about the race.
Now, this was a tough one. I wasn't there. It was a sold-out weekend. I don't have a Freedom Plus deal. It was not on my race pass, so it's kind of a tough one to do some research on my end. Yeah. How did this race play out for you? As you mentioned, 75 laps is the standard distance for Berlin, so you kind of know how the race is going to go as far as your setup and what the track's going to do. But how did this unfold for you from third? I know there was a couple of restarts along the way too.
Yeah, so we fired off, and I had a pretty good feeling about being able to get around Cleat. Moody, I know he's been there a long time, has a lot of good driver craft. I knew we had a little bit more speed than him. So I knew we could get track position really soon. So we fired off, and I think lap 1 and 2, Cletus kind of faded back. Moody kind of took off, got around Cleat, and by lap 3, I think I passed Moody on the inside out of 2, and got around him and came over the radio and let the guys know, like, I'm going to push hard here for a minute, get ourselves a gap so we can start riding comfortably. And yeah, just rode from there. The interesting part is, like, on a regular night at Berlin, I think top cautions are every 35. So we're only guaranteed like one, because they won't, it's normally only one because they won't do another comp within 5 to go. So, like, we knew there was going to be a late comp with 15 to go. That's how it played out. So no, from there we took.
Is that what puts Bubba right back on you? I mean, did you have that handled?
Yeah, no, it was 15 to go came out, and into 3 you can see the board, and I was peeking, and it was like, all right, Bubba's up to P2, and I know we got a comp car, so it was like, we got to back this thing down as much as we can and save. Just knowing, like, how Tuesday and Wednesday went, Bubba looked really good, and he finished really good. So we knew he had a good piece. So we knew we had to be prepared for that.
So how do you solve that problem in your head? Because I'm sure that's how you dreamt up winning $20,000 was hold off Bubba Pollard.
Not at all. But we knew. So, like, it was really weird at Berlin. Like, when you get into traffic, you normally trend like in dirty air, aero tight, like it'll want to shove the nose. And I don't know if it was like because the Crown Vics were on there Friday, but then it rained, so I don't know. It was just really weird in traffic. You trended to get really free in dirty air. Like, it was something I haven't felt at all at Berlin at all. But I knew coming to the restart with 15 to go, I had to do whatever it took to get the lead and not get behind Bubba and have to fight for it.
And I know there's probably something else you never felt. I mean, you've won races before, no secret about that. But up on the roof, dude, I mean, when did you, I mean, was that already planned once you crossed the start finish line?
No, absolutely. No, I mean, I knew like I was going to get on the door and throw my hands up, but then like I got one foot on the door and then you hear the roar of the crowd, and I've never raced or even honestly been at a racetrack with that many people, and it was like, I need to get on the damn roof of this thing, dude. There's so many people here. This is insane.
That is awesome, man. And I want to take a quick second here and thank our interview sponsor, Independence Heating and Cooling. They are Southern Michigan's Bryant dealer, fast, friendly HVAC service done right the first time, whether it's emergency repair, tune-ups, installs, you name it, they've got you covered across South Central Michigan. You can find them online at ihcpros.com. You can request service on their website, or you can call/text 517-425-0224 for that emergency service, or if you just want to get something scheduled. We're getting ready to be in a transition period right now where we're going to start working our way out of air conditioning and maybe having to flip the heat on here in the next 30 days or so. And make sure that you're ready for that, okay? Get signed up for the Comfort Plan with Independence Heating and Cooling, just $12.99 a month, and you'll get discounted emergency service rates, and you'll get discounted maintenance rates as well with Independence Heating and Cooling. They service my house, not just because they sponsor us, but because I trust them. New furnace, new air conditioner in my home, and we haven't missed a beat since then. So check them out, ihcpros.com or 517-425-0224. The week for you also included a unique other job on Friday that I wanted to talk to, but Rich jumped to Saturday, so I wanted to do that. A winning spotter over the weekend, man. How did that come to be that you would work with Zach?
So I know the Warning family pretty well. My wife knows them really well. Ryan and Jen used to help run Kalamazoo and Galesburg and help out at Springport. And they're good friends of Cletus now, and they help run the Freedom Factory. And on Tuesday, Ryan had brought over Zach down to our pit and had asked me to take Zach a few laps around the racetrack just to kind of show him the line and how to get around Berlin a little bit. And did that with Zach, and we kind of kicked it off and started just hanging out a little bit and talking. And I didn't know they had spotters in Crown Vics, and I'd asked him, I asked if they had spotters and if he did, who spot for him. He was like, "Oh, my wife does." And I was like, "Oh, never mind. I'm just messing around. Don't want to step on any toes." And he was like, "No, dude, come spot for me." And I was like, "All right." And then it was just, we did it, and it worked out.
How much spotting experience do you have?
0.
That's what I wondered.
One
time. Yeah.
1 for 1, buddy. How about that? So what was that whole experience like, right? Like, I mean, Cletus is a pretty big figure in terms of social media and really worldwide now. Thanks to social media, he's a big figure. Knowing somebody that's in that family, that's in that realm, I think is pretty unique. What did you learn, I guess, from kind of being in that world for those 3 days? And like, what's something that you think somebody should know about how that whole thing operates?
I think they're all like really genuine people. Like you kind of expect to see a different side of them from just like how the world works nowadays in social media. But like between Cleet and Zach and just everyone, my wife's actually really good friends with Danielle, which is Jade Spiessel's wife. And I got to meet Justin for the first time. And they're just super humble people. Like even like JH and all of them, JH, Zach and Cleet, they're just, you can tell like they love what they're doing and they're doing it because they love it. And it was super cool to hang out with them and talk to them and just their crazy schedule of events that they go throughout the week, and they're just living the dream, and they're blessed to do it. You can tell that.
I got to ask you, I was the first one to mention the $20,000 and you smiled. I'm going to make you smile again. What's this going to do for the driver inside the helmet now? That's a well-deserved paycheck, my friend.
And a critical time, right? Like we just covered last week about how it's championship time. It's the time to try to get that thing done.
No, yeah, the train's finally moving, and it's got some momentum now going into the next 2 weeks. But yeah, it's unreal, man. Like regardless of the 20 grand, like, dude, I have so many smaller companies and people that come together and they're like, "Hey, like this $700 help you?" And I'm like, dude, like absolutely, like all of them together make this whole thing move. And I know Nick and Amanda and all the people at Huckers Construction, they know that, and it's been a true blessing. And to get to 20 grand takes a little bit breather off the car owner's back, and gives me the confidence to go do what I got to do behind the wheel. And it's truly a blessing. I can't wrap my head completely around it yet. Hopefully we'll get there, but I don't care to get around it. Like, yes, 20 grand is amazing, but I got a job to do and make people happy, make sponsors happy, and we'll put the 20 grand into the program and help us all out.
And I gotta believe that if that was a $2,000 check, you would not be as happy.
I absolutely would. Dude, it's every little bit with this team we all work our butts off. Well, everybody on my crew works a 9 to 5. Like, every little penny of success helps, and regardless of the money, we want to win, man. We've come so close so many times.
I got a couple more things, and then we'll let you get out of here. You talked about the crowd, and I think it was Zach Herrig's interview where you talked about being nervous about your fellow competitors because of the stage and because of the crowd, and being concerned that they were going to get a little out of control because of everything that was going on.
Yeah.
How did that end up being managed, and did it feel any different other than when you got out of the car and heard the roar?
I mean, it played out like I said, like, I can't believe, I thought for sure this race was going to be caution in the first 10 laps, people trying to get track position, and no, like, it played out, and I think everybody knew, like, it's Berlin, right? And we're back on this Hoosier where you have to save. So, like, yes, track position matters, but you can't really, especially with the aero that was going on Saturday, like, you burnt your stuff up way too early, being aggressive. Like, you literally, like, wherever your cards laid out is where they laid out, and you had to, I was super thankful to start up front, and I think it just turned into the package around with the body and the tire around. You have to manage so much, and you have to know not to race so hard.
Last thing from me, and then we'll let you get out of here. We haven't talked to you in a little over a year. We went back and looked, and it was last summer that we talked to you. And I'm gonna change gears on you. Okay, so just be ready for this. You made a pretty. We're going to talk personal now. You made a pretty important decision in the spring that I know is really. I can tell from being around you that you've let it change you. Talk about the decision for you with Tori and your family to get baptized in the spring.
Yeah, I got baptized this spring, and it's been it's definitely being in my faith and stuff has helped me through a lot of things this offseason. We had a lot of change in the race shop, and all glory to God, man. It's brought me and my wife closer. It's brought my whole community and my race team and my family together. And just truly blessed to do that and have my wife by my side to get me there. I wasn't fully in my faith when I first met my wife, and she talked to me about God and let me know who God was, and it's been an amazing experience.
Well, I know, Dylan, most, if not all, I'm not going to say all of them, all of our listeners and people that watch this program can read. So, but for the ones that can't, tell everybody who made it all possible for you.
Yeah, for sure.
$20,000 check.
Yeah, Nick and Amanda Hutcherson Construction, they own the car. Truly blessed to have them on board. Southwest Roofing, Van Dam Cruising, the whole Ferguson family at Superior Lawns, Gail and Kurt Moeller at Classic Concrete, they're a huge help. They give us checks for the big races to get tires and provide us with just tires and everything to get going. Schaefer Oil for motor and oil, MEP with the motor, Modern Builders, Privacy Fencing, Anderson Flooring, Tough Coat, Stoneburner Farm Markets, and I got to thank my crew, everyone. Ken Rush, my tire guy, he is unreal. He's been with me since the absolute beginning of this deal, and he's just down to earth, love the sport. Can't wait to get back to the racetrack. Mark Metz, Devin, Mark Campbell, Jared Blanchard, Grant Volkner always helps me in the shop, get this thing cleaned up and shined up, ready to rip at the racetrack. Zach Cook and Dale Leonard. That's the whole posse, and they make it happen.
And Dylan, I'm going to help you. The person who made that list for you,
Tori Stovall. Tori Stovall, my beautiful wife. Yeah.
That a boy, buddy. She texted me today. She goes, "You better take care of him. I'm not going to be there."
Yeah. That's awesome.
Buddy, that's a cool trophy. That's a cool check, and I think it's great. We've been pulling for you here on this show. We obviously love everybody that races over there at Berlin, but it's just neat when I was getting ready for this interview today to kind of look back and see, brace face Dylan Stovall. It wasn't that long ago, right? I mean, it's you've evolved pretty quick, and that Hutcherson Racing team has had a lot of faith in you for a long time. And I think people are finally seeing why, and that's got to be pretty cool for you.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible how far we've came as a team, and just me as a driver, and the people not giving up on me and staying in my corner. Also, huge shout out to Austin Hall, our crew chief. Our crew chief, he did not want to come. There was a rain that we thought was coming, and he lives super far, so we kind of were dicey. And Austin Hall got on the radio and helped me out tremendously on Saturday.
And there's a little bit of
he brings the champ in and they bully up on the field. What kind of fairness is that?
I know. And actually, it's funny. There's a delay in our program from the time that we say it till it gets to Facebook. As you said, Austin Hall, he commented Dylan Hook. So if it's going to be, he's suggesting that maybe it should have went the other way. Who runs the program there?
That's
Dylan,
awesome.
Man, I appreciate it. Congratulations, dude. Really proud of you. Nice work. And now you got one thing left to do, buddy, and that's go get that championship. So good luck.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. Hopefully you interview me soon for the championship.
All right, buddy. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, Rich and I wrap this up. This is the Horsepower Happenings podcast.
Saturday, August 22nd, the Ron Hauser Memorial roars into Owasso Speedway. Watch the Outlaw Super Late Models headline a full night on the legendary 3/8 mile high-banked asphalt. Alderman's Late Model Sportsman and Appleby Oil and Propane Sport Compacts also join us to bring even more wheel-to-wheel action. Gates open at 4 and racing starts at 6. Come feel the thunder of the Speedway on Saturday, August 22nd.
Think your camper handled the winter just fine? Think again. Every time the temperature fluctuates, drop moisture freezes and expands, turning tiny hairline cracks into major pathways for water. That freeze-thaw cycle is a silent killer for RV seals. If you haven't had a professional roof and exterior sealant inspection this spring, you're likely towing a leak you can't see yet. Midwest Camper Repair specializes in catching that winter damage before it reaches your interior. We're mobile, and we check it all from the roof to the floor. Don't let a winter crack ruin your summer fun. Call Midwest Camper Repair today and start the season sealed tight. Call 419-799-1171. That's 419-799-1171. Or visit MidwestCamperRepair.com. Serving the tri-state area from the roof to the floor, Midwest Camper Repair has you covered.
KG Media is your home for all things photography, race day social media, and more. Cody Dyer brings more than a decade of experience working with the top brands in short track racing. From individual photos to full race days, social media to PR, KG Media can make your race team, race track, or touring series stand out. For more information, go to marknews.org or visit KG Media on Facebook.
And welcome back to Horsepower Happenings. And Zach, it's now time to look up what we have coming up this weekend. And for a second week in a row, a Wednesday race event, this time at the Kalamazoo Speedway. Kalamazoo Clash is back with the Ravers Rumble, right back where it belongs, and a midweek race. Gates open at 1 p.m., Zach, hot laps at 3, racing at 7 p.m. at the Kalamazoo Speedway on Wednesday.
A lot of folks happy to see that get back to a midweek show. That way it doesn't step on, some other things going on. I think somehow, is it up against Owasso, or is Owasso the next week?
No, it's not up against Owasso.
Okay.
Michigan 300s later in the month. Yep.
So we're gonna have 3 Wednesday races in a row. Good for the state of Michigan. Cool. So yes, and full list and still rolling out entries available at Kalamazoo Speedway's Facebook page to take a look at who's going to be at that one. So get out there. No streaming, no coverage from us, and so the only way you're going to take that in is to buy a ticket and go see it at Kalamazoo Speedway. Friday night, All-Star Circuit of Champions and $5,000 to win late models with the Move Over Michigan Dirt Late Model Series. They're in action again Friday night at I-96 Speedway. Street Stocks will be there in support as well. Gates open at 5. Racing scheduled to roll off from I-96 Speedway at 8 o'clock. And this Saturday night, Rich, had one more thing that we needed to talk about, and we've been running some promotions for them. The Owasso Speedway Ron Hauser Memorial Outlaw Super Late Models back at Owasso Speedway coming up this Saturday night. So be sure to get out there and check that out. Great Lakes Super Sprints have the weekend off. The Great Lakes Lightning Sprints have a double in Michigan, though. They'll be at Mount Pleasant Speedway and Merritt Speedway Friday and Saturday night. So There you go.
I think we've got enough covered this week, don't we?
I'm looking forward to it's kind of an off week, but then after this, we got Lightning Sprints this weekend. I'll be there, and then 2 weeks, Rich, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm taking a little three-day golf trip going up by Soaring Eagle Casino, and going to stay there and try to take some of their money, or they're going to take mine. I know which way it's probably going to go.
Well, between the beer you're going to buy.
Yeah, and so I'll really be down probably. I'll take a lot of 20s. Well, even though you're not there, I'll bring 20s, Zach. Don't worry. You'll be there. You'll be there in thought.
You'll never know when I'll show up, Rich. You just never know.
That's true. But I know I said it earlier in the show. I want to thank Cody Geyer for filling in for me next week. I appreciate it that way. I don't have to stop in the middle of my losses and in the middle of drowning in my beer to do a show. So thank you, Cody. I appreciate it.
Good deal. All right. Well, that's going to do it for our program tonight. Thanks so much to Dona Marcoullier, Gary Lindahl, Dylan Stovall for making time to be on the program. Our producer, Noah Longyear, Rich France, our co-host. I'm Zach Heiser. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you same time, same place next week, right here on Horsepower Happenings.
You've been listening to Horsepower Happenings. The views and opinions expressed in tonight's show may not directly reflect that of Horsepower Happenings. The contents of this program may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or disseminated without the express written consent of Horsepower Happenings. Follow Horsepower Happenings on Facebook, Instagram, X, and all major podcast platforms, including Spotify, iHeart, iTunes, and Pandora, to keep up on what's happening.